You're gonna have to come close. You're not gonna get the audio from there.
Okay.
Nah, I've done this before.
You have?
I mean, not like this, but I do like this kind of thing all the time.
So that's probably good. Okay.
Do you have the bus in the background, kind of?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yes.
All right, cool.
Okay, so can you start by saying your name?
Sure. My name is Michael McGovern, and I am the Outreach Director with the Green Rush Bus Tour, which is a part of Responsible Ohio's Yes on 3 campaign, which is working to legalize marijuana in Ohio. It's on the ballot this fall.
Okay. How did you get started working in this campaign?
Sure. I have actually been working on political campaigns since I was 17. Went to, studied politics in college and that sort of thing, and have worked in campaigns both in Ohio and DC. And then somehow, I think one of my mentors kind of connected me with the folks who are working on this campaign. It sounded like a pretty cool opportunity to work on, what I think is a pretty important issue. And I'd previously kind of planned bus tours like this in the past. So yeah, I've been with the campaign now for about 6 or 8 weeks.
Okay, and what is it like on a daily basis for you on the bus? Is it a bus tour or?
It's a bus. It's sort of a bus. I call it a bus.
Okay.
Really, it's like an RV though, right?
Yeah.
It's fun. So we usually we're based out of Columbus, so we try and get back here as often as we can. Usually, almost every night. And we usually will leave kind of at the crack of dawn to drive wherever we're going, and we set up and do as many stops as we can at different, with a big focus on college campuses, but also towns throughout the state. We're trying to go to all 88 counties. And we'll just park somewhere. Like right now, we're parked on Ohio State's campus. We have signs that we set up, and we sort of talk to people as they come by. Especially on college campuses, we're really focused on registering voters, but also getting TV there and newspaper and all the local media, so we can sort of grow the impact and the effect we're having by talking to even more people. And like I said, yeah, and today we're spending our whole day at Ohio State, but other days we'll be in a couple different towns or a couple different universities just to talk to voters and get folks engaged.
Okay, so when you come out to campuses or wherever you go, is it just like to talk to people or just inform them? Yeah,
the biggest thing that we've run into, I think, is that people just aren't aware that this issue is on the ballot this year, and that it's it's really coming together. Any year you don't have a presidential election on the ballot, you see a pretty significant drop-off in the number of people who vote. And yet we realize there's a lot of people, especially young people and college students, who are really passionate about this issue. So we want to make sure we're on college campuses and throughout the state, letting them know that it's incredibly important for them to get out this fall and to vote if this is something they care about.
Okay, and can you just talk a little bit about why you're personally passionate about it?
Sure. I just think it's an incredibly important issue to the state. You've seen marijuana prohibition just cause just such deep problems in communities across Ohio and across the country, where by making this illegal, you've totally screwed up our criminal justice system. You're missing a huge opportunity to tax it and bring in revenue to the state, and frankly, you're pulling police officers and other law enforcement folks off issues that are more important to our communities. So I think just across the board, from the money this brings in to the jobs it creates to creating a legal marketplace, to not messing up our communities and sending people needlessly to jail or giving them a criminal record when they don't deserve one. I think just across the board it's something that needs to happen. And when you see how it's gone in states like Colorado and Washington State, where it's been a huge success, I think it'd be great to see Ohio, the first state in the Midwest and not out west really, to kind of lead on this and to really take a stand and do something good here.
Okay, and you said that you go all over Ohio. Can you just talk about where some of the places you've been?
Sure, we're trying to go to all 88 counties. I think we've been to about 60. We're trying to go to 22 college campuses. And it's run the gambit from really small little farm towns in the middle of nowhere to downtown Columbus and Cleveland and here at Ohio State and other universities. It's been really interesting to me as someone who walked in sort of with a preconceived notion of what people who supported legalization looked like, and that really hasn't held up at all. I don't know how many times we've been at these little towns in the middle of nowhere in western Ohio, which is real conservative, and I kind of had this idea that we'd pull up and wouldn't necessarily get that warm of a reception, and that hasn't been the case at all. These people come up to me in little towns in Greene County and Dark County and all these places that are very conservative and come up and say, yeah, legalize it, we should have done this years ago. I say, well, that's great, because I figure if we're getting people like that out there, and I know we're getting young people like you and I, and we're getting so many other people, I think we have a really good shot at this.
Okay, and last question, can you just talk about like the response you get from people like when
Yeah.
you come to
It,
campuses
it's
and
it's
stuff?
incredibly it's been incredibly positive, to be honest. I can count the number of negative responses I've had like really on one hand. I like to joke that the one time anyone has ever given me the middle finger when I'm driving this thing is when I cut them off, not because I think they don't like marijuana. I think every now and then we have, like I said, maybe on one hand I can count the negative responses. It's almost entirely positive, or it's people who kind of are on the fence and just want to come and get some more information and talk to them. And usually, you know, I think I generally have pretty good conversations with those folks, and they leave better informed and to hopefully end up voting our way.